Hi, I'm Alex, and today I'll be talking about some of our more complicated VR mechanics that we've created, as well as how these complicated mechanics overall serve our gameplay. But firstly, in my last video, I raised that there was a critical error in my game, making the game literally unplayable. The issue was that you couldn't hit these hanging dice. This is clearly unacceptable, and I want to apologise for taking so long to address this issue. We've been working around the clock to fix this, and now we actually have a functioning game. It is actually so much fun just to hit these balls around. I think it really does add a lot to this game. However, what doesn't add a lot to this game is this awful placeholder engine default font text on the screen. I'm the programmer, not the artist, and I think you can tell that this might have been my handiwork. Look, I'm covering it up. You don't have to see it anymore. Let's just pretend it doesn't exist, and eventually it will be replaced. Now, onto the more complex interactions. In a previous video, I discussed how we made our simple interactions, which relied upon physics constraint, which defines how one object is allowed to move in relation to another object, and logic that would occur based upon how the object moved. For more complex interactions, we simply have more complicated constraints and more layered logic that occurs. Since the last devlog, there are two main complex interactions that we made: the stabilizer puzzle and the pressure puzzle. The stabilizer puzzle fixes any issue that the stabilizers are having, and the pressure puzzle, well, yeah, it's going to fix any issue that the pressure is having. Hopefully that's pretty self-explanatory. The pressure puzzle will pop out when the pressure of the ship is at dangerous levels. You must grab onto the cylinder and rotate it to the correct point. Hold it there, and then push it in and repeat. We show where the right place is to rotate the cylinder through 3 different sensors. Giving the information in multiple ways allows for a better player experience. And we would go for more sensors, but most people don't have smell or vision. Anyway, the point is that we want to inform the player through 3 senses. Sight through the display around the cylinder, sound through a beeping sound that will inform the player if you're getting closer or further away from the correct place to rotate it, and through touch through a vibration in the controller that they're holding. The sound and vibration uses a hot-cold system, where the closer you are to the correct rotation, the vibration and sounds will happen more often, while the vibration will also be more intense and the sound will also be higher pitched. We have a constraint so that the pressure puzzle can be rotated and pushed in. This constraint has to be adjusted so that the cylinder can be rotated during the rotate stage but not able to push it in, and then being able to push it in during the pushing stage while not being able to rotate it. Adjusting the constraint in this way can be a bit annoying to do. Here's the code required to shift the constraint from rotation to pushing, which, as you can tell, isn't the smallest bit of code. Now onto the stabilization puzzle. When the stabilizers break, the stabilization station pops out. You must then rotate these 2 knobs to match this wave's frequency and amplitude to the other wave's frequency and amplitude. Once that is done, you can then push back in the station and this will fix the stabilizers. So why should you be doing these puzzles? What happens if you don't do these puzzles? Wait, why should you be doing anything in this game? What's the core of this game? The core of this game is management of various systems. And for me personally, I think this game is at its best when you're on the verge of dying, trying to manage 4 things at once. And as you're just about to die, as you're just about to run out of oxygen, you repair your ship, you power up your life support, you dodge the asteroids in front of you, and you survive for 1 more day. That's the feeling I want to give players as they play this game, on that knife edge of failure as they manage to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. This isn't an easy thing to do. To get this right, there's this constant balance of trying to make things difficult to challenge the player, to get them onto that knife edge, while also trying to make sure that they don't actually fail all that often, and that everyone can enjoy and play this game. We also can't have players always at this crazy high stress and intensity levels, but we'll talk about that soon. So how do these puzzles fit into the design that we're aiming for? The stabilizers, I think, are the easiest to see this design coming through. So as you hit your ship, it damages your ship, but it also damages your stabilizers. And once your stabilizers are broken, this will happen. Which, as you can tell, isn't really helping you that much. So you need to go to the back of the ship to fix your stabilizers. But you're turning your back on the asteroids ahead of you, and during this time, more bad things could be going wrong. So you need to try to fix this as quick as possible to try to get back to managing other things. Now, we can't always have players at this level of energy, this level of stress. It's just not sustainable. We want to raise and lower the overall stress and energy to keep the players engaged in the experience. We want to pace the intensity of the game over a playthrough. But I do want to try to give the players that feeling at least once. We were considering using a director AI, popularized and most known from the Left 4 Dead series. This is where we can adjust the experience so that you get these periods of respite after periods of stress. Creating a director AI would be a heavy undertaking, and so it's not something we're definitely going to do, but it's something we were considering. Getting this challenge and balance and pacing right is something that will have to take a lot of care to perfect, and will require useful feedback from our beta testers. Sign up below. Subscribe and ring that bell to see how successful we will be in that aim. If you want to chat about this game, this video, or anything else, I stream on Twitch, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7:30 PM UK time. Comment below with what you think of our 2 puzzles. Press that like or dislike button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.